We are team number one, and we're going to present the evidence number one, which is the social campaign, and our campaign name is Aguas con el Agua, Nuevo León. The first stage of our campaign is identifying the issues in the community. With the rise of the pandemic, we found ourselves in more problems than we already had, but we also came up with solutions. However, those solutions were not that accepted. An example of this is the lack of support for small business owners, called nannies. We also have the problem of animal abuse.
Also, the water shortage in Nuevo León and the emotional crisis within students like burnout, depression, and anxiety.
Yeah, as we can see in these images, we have some articles talking about the nannies, explaining that this is a new concept that came up in February of this current year, 2021. And we can also see that the nanny term was used with a mocking and despectively tone. And we can also see the bunny on the right, which is part of the campaign called Save Ralph, which is a short video that PETA got out trying to make awareness of the animal abuse in the cosmetic industry.
Next, we have the image of the companies who are mostly using water in our country, living towns without water access. And lastly, we have an article about the results given by our university, speaking of the declining mental health of their students.
As my partners already said, I'm going to talk about the shortage in water in Mexico, specifically in Monterrey, Nuevo León. This is due to great waste of it, massive amounts of consumptions by companies like Coca-Cola that use the highest percentage of water in the country. Also, unfortunately, has not rained lately, so the government has announced that there will be a shortage in certain states of Mexico. As a team, we believe that the water shortage is a serious situation, and we must take the necessary measures to take care of water and just preserve it. That is why we conduct a survey of 19 people, which I will show you in a 4 more seconds. As we can see in the first questions, that not everyone is aware of the current situation in the state. And the second one is people agree that the ones wasting the more water are companies and not that much the citizens. Can you move on to the next slide, please? And the third question, the people gave some recommendations that the companies could use to stop wasting water, such as treat the water and find the ways to recycle it. It is good that we as a community are trying to do something to solve the problem. However, can you move to the next slide, please? Finally, in the last question, we all agree that the government should regulate better the consumption these companies have, so that the problem could be reduced, and trying to preserve the water more. The next one, please.
For that reason, we have decided as a team to create a page on a social network so that we can raise awareness of the problem of water shortage in our community. And to give us an identity as a social campaign, we created a name and a logo according to our problem. In this case was Aguas con el Agua Nuevo León.
Okay, after we decided the name and logo, we wanted to create a website to gather all this information we found out about the water shortage in Nuevo León, and then share it with our friends and family to keep them aware about all this information and the preventions that we must consider. But also not only them, but to our entire community. So we have invited as many people as possible, and today we have reached around 750 people who follow our page successfully.
Okay, so finally, the fourth stage is the implementation. Here we shared content from trusted sources like Conagua and Servicios de Agua y Drenaje. We created graphic content for easier understanding and better engagement. We posted images related to the water problem and short videos. We also updated the Facebook page to keep our community aware of what's happening. And as we can see in the next slide, please. Our posts reached a good amount of views, and the likes incremented fastly. And that's all. Thank you.
Concluding the campaign.
We can finalize our campaign by saying that having an impact on people is definitely not easy. However, it is not impossible. We had to find a balance of pushing our page and not falling on spamming people.
We also had to figure out which colors we should use that suited our campaign and were attractive at the same time. We had to perform some research not only in the web but also with our own peers in order to identify which issues were the most discussed.
We also believe that it's very important to look for the latest news in reliable sources, as well as share visual and briefly explain content that help our readers to pay more attention to the information.
Fortunately, we had a great reach with our followers, and we create a positive impact in people's mind in order to take action to prevent from getting bigger the water shortage.
We can say that this activity left an important lesson not only in us, but also in all the people we reach about the water problem in our state. We need to be more conscious about it and implement measures to avoid wasting it so it can last longer and reach more communities.
We also learned that we can raise awareness in a very easy way, like social media, and that we can make a big change using a strategy. And by that, it can help us to become more approachable to others.
Thank you.